YouTube. What's cracking, peeps? What it is, what it ain't. It's your boy Toddy Jones in the building. What's going on, y'all? Quick little video here today. I did a video yesterday, so this is gonna be one of the few times I do videos on consecutive days. So just like the title indicates, I really want to talk about today how the wholesaling formula does not always work. Yes, guys, the wholesaling formula does not always work when evaluating your deals. And I'm going to tell y'all about very recent, very recent situation. I just came across with a deal where the wholesaling formula did not work for me at all, but it eventually came to be my benefit, and I'll quickly go through the ins and outs of that also. Before we get started, I'm going to ask you guys a major favor. If you watch the videos, if you get something from the videos, anything of that nature, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. That way, when I do new videos, YouTube will also, YouTube will send you a notification letting you know I just dropped a new video. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Also, do your boy a favor. I'm going to leave a link in the description box of our real estate Facebook group. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions sometimes that you want to ask me, and I honestly can't always answer it directly when you ask me the question. Therefore, subscribe, go click the link in the description, go to our Facebook group. We got a lot of good people in there sharing a lot of knowledge, and that way you can get your answers, your questions answered almost simultaneously. So back to the topic of the video. Yeah, guys, just closed the deal this week. Guys. And it was actually a deal I done with a seller who I know, a seller that I grew up with, went to school with, and it actually was at one point in time a neighbor of mine. So this is a seller that I've known before I even got into real estate. So to try to make a long story short, what happened is the seller, she reached out to me. She let me know that she had a house in my market that she was looking to sell. She gave me the information on it. Of course, I evaluated, pulled my numbers on it, et cetera. Now, also, the thing with this deal, the house still had a mortgage on it. Yeah, so there still was a remaining mortgage that would need to be paid off in order to make this deal work. Now, the reason I say the wholesaling formula does not always work, guys, because normally if we were to follow the typical wholesaling formula, this is a deal that would not have worked for me if we were simply using the wholesaling formula. We take the ARV, multiply it by 70, and figuring our repairs, et cetera. Numbers wise, calculators wise, this deal would not have worked for me normally. For example, the ARV ranged from about 130,000 to 140,000. The repairs on the house were probably about 20 to 25,000 for a flip, and maybe 12 to 15K to hold it as a rental. So again, the ARV was about 130, 140. The repairs for a flip was about 20 to 25K. The repairs to hold it as a rental were about 12 to 15K. So once I put all of that in, in our normal wholesaling formula that we normally use, the numbers told me probably the most that I could actually offer on this property was probably going to be about 70K. But the property still had a mortgage on it that was a little bit over 85K. So I'll be honest, like 2 years ago, once I put those numbers in, this is something I wouldn't even pursue because in my mind, I would have thought, well, hey, these numbers won't work for this to be a wholesale deal. Maybe I'll refer her to a realtor or maybe something of that nature. So about 2 years ago, I wouldn't even pursue it because I would have just assumed, hey, these numbers, they're not going to work in order for this to be a wholesale deal. Now, the bonus thing with this property, it was in a great location in my market. Real good location in my market. A location where there's still a lot of new home developments going on. The city is bringing a lot of businesses. They're building on that part of town. It has great elementary school, great middle school, and an excellent high school. So the location was very favorable. The rents are higher on that part of town, so it was a great location. Your typical 3-2 house that all investors like. So it had everything working for it, but the only thing was standing in the way was that mortgage. So she called me, you know what I'm saying? She gave me the information on it. I evaluated. And the good thing about this deal, she knows me. She's a Facebook friend of mine, a personal friend a friend of mine. So she kind of going into this situation, she already knew that, hey, I'm a wholesaler. I plug sellers in with buyers. She already knew that. So when she reached out to me, you know, she asked me, you know, with myself and my partners be interested in it, et cetera, et cetera. And I told her, you know, absolutely, of course, you know, I'll be happy to take a look at it, which I did. Now, I called one of my buyers, which I call my partner, because he buys from me, but he also partners up with me. And when I say partners up with me, a lot of times when I'm evaluating houses, just like this one, a lot of times I'll actually bring him to the property with me before I even have it under contract. And I know that's like a lot of times taboo, the way we think of wholesaling, but you know, this is somebody I have a personal relationship with. We've done a lot of deals together. So as far as me being worried about him going behind my back and anything like that, I don't worry about that at all, because that's the kind of personal relationship we have. That's kind of business relationship we have. And, you know, we've done a lot of deals together. So that's one of my buyers, but really, you know, it truly is really my partner. So we went over there together and looked at the house. You know, we looked at it. We walked around it, evaluated. The house also had a nice big in-ground pool that would need to be repaired, because, you know, it had sat for a while and went to disarray. But in my market in Georgia, having a big in-ground pool like that, you know, that's a very good amenity to have. You know, this is a very hot climate, you know, so having a nice in-ground swimming pool like that was a bonus. So we walked around the property, we evaluated, we looked at it, we talked amongst myself, you know, and he said, you know, like, so tell me, you know, about how much do you think, you know, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but I told him all the information that she told me, of course. Hey, there's a mortgage still on it, and this is the amount of the mortgage, blah, 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 blah. And he said, you know, hey, how much you trying to make, you know, off this deal? You know, how much you trying to make? I gave him a number. I said, I know it's not going to be a lot of meat on the bones. Because honestly, guys, I didn't honestly think the numbers were going to fit. So I told him, you know, hey, I know it's not going to be a whole lot of meat on the bones. So, you know, if I can get like 3,500, you know, I'll be good with that. And he said, you know, what if we can do like 3,000? And then, of course, I'll pay the closing. You know, you could just assign me the contract for 3K. And I was like, yeah, cool, run it. We can do that. We can definitely do that. And again, mind you, in the past, I wouldn't even pursued this. You know, and I know some of y'all are probably listening saying, well, 3,000, well, Toddy, you didn't make a whole lot of money off this deal. You're right. It ain't a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And that really boils down to how you look at a lot of money, because 3,000 to one person, you know, that can put them in a great situation. And 3,000 to another person, they may spend that at the strip club, you know. So it's really just all about how you value that amount of money. But regardless, like I said, in the past, this would have been a deal that I would not even pursue, because I would assume that the numbers wouldn't work. So my buyer was interested. We made an agreement that we go ahead and we get the house. So called the seller back, told her like, hey, this is how much we can pay for it. And now she did have to bring a little bit of cash to closing, guys. Not a whole large amount, but she brought a little bit to closing. But it worked good for everybody in this deal. It worked good for her because she got rid of a mortgage that was almost like $90K to the loan company. So she was able to, because she didn't even live in the city anymore. And this just was a house she was paying a mortgage on a house that she never planned to come back and live in. So she was able to get that mortgage payment off her back, you know, so I'm sure she was thrilled about that. I was able to make a little bit of money for my assignment fee. And then my buyer, he got an awesome property in an awesome neighborhood in an awesome area. His plans, right now, his plans for the property, they're gonna fix it up and they're gonna hold it as a rental. And knowing this buyer the way I know him, he'll probably hold it for a rental from anywhere from maybe for about 1 to 5 years. Get him some nice tenants in there, and then he may actually sell it to another investor. So that's how that's gonna work out. But I really just want to bring that to y'all's attention, and kind of get more into the point of why I'm making this video. This is where learning your market, knowing your market, and knowing your buyers and the type of things that they want to buy really comes into play. Because again, being honest with y'all, like, you know, year and a half, 2 years ago, this is not a deal that I would have been able to close. For one, I wouldn't have had my network where I needed it to be. And for two, I just would have assumed that the numbers were not going to work. You know, a lot of times in the past, I used to just look at, hey, do the numbers work? Now, a lot of times I look at, hey, do the numbers work? And also, does this location warrant me ignoring what the numbers say and still pursuing this property? And that all boils down to just, hey, knowing your market, knowing your market, you know, knowing what the rents are, you know, knowing what people really, really want to buy. And this was a location that people really, really want to buy in. Real good, nice, strong location here in my market, guys. So this is like the check I got, you know, closed on this earlier this week. Actually closed on it on April Fool's Day, April 1st. You know, so that's my check, close on that. And, you know, I'm very extremely thankful to close on that deal. Blessed to have that deal. Because again, guys, in the past, I wouldn't have been able to close on that deal, you know, and that just comes with, you know, as I said, me knowing my market better, and also me just, you know, having the experience, you know, because honestly, the numbers did not work on this, guys. The numbers say I needed about $20,000 more as far as the equity went into the house in order for it to work, you know. So 20,000, I'm telling y'all, in the past, I just wouldn't even pursued this. So it makes me wonder how many other deals that, you know, that I have missed out because I thought my numbers didn't work. And I know it's been a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one of the things of wholesaling. You know, you're going to get some that way. You're going to lose some that way. But just wanted to make that video, tell you guys about that. Again, the close on that property early this week. I actually got a closing on another property tomorrow morning. I think around about 9:30, 10:30 a.m. But I got another closing tomorrow morning that I'm doing. I might make another video tomorrow after that closing, explaining to you guys about that deal as well. So we may do a 3 for 3. You know, we may do 3 straight videos. But nonetheless, I appreciate y'all listening to me. I appreciate your time. Once again, click the link that's in the description. Join our Facebook group. You know, if you like the videos, you know, you like the information that you get from the videos, join our Facebook group. We got a lot of cool, knowledgeable people in there sharing a lot of good information, doing a lot of networking in there as well. So make sure to join our Facebook group. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Real Estate Toddy. That's my IG name, REAL Estate Toddy. Real Estate Toddy. That's my Instagram name. So I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. I'll probably see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, y'all be good. Take care. Peace out.